Part 52. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 529. At the entrance of Merlot Heaven, a large group of investigative angels lined up neatly through the detection gate and entered Merlot Heaven. The angels who were on duty here did not do more checks after seeing that the detection gate did not alarm. Because they believe in the detection technology of Merlot Heaven, only female angels can directly pass through this door. Any aliens, including male angels, will be detected and an alarm will be sounded. After a total of more than 10,000 investigation angels all entered the Merlot Heavenly Court and flew to the institutional area belonging to the investigation angels, the angel on duty said strangely to his fellow angels who were also on duty in the private communication. Didn't His Excellency Holy Left Wing just lead the angel army stationed in Mero to go on an expedition to stop Demon Wen? Logically speaking, now is the time when combat power is needed. Why did these more than 10,000 sisters suddenly come back? The companion standing quietly like a sculpture holding a war spear did not move, but he answered immediately in the communication channel. Maybe His Excellency Holy Left Wing has some plan. And don't ask around, we just need to do our job on duty. At the same time, in another unnamed planetary system separated from the Mero planetary system, in the area where the angel prison is located, a figure led two teams of angels towards the angel prison at high speed. Because the angel prison is special, it houses some erring angels and a few dangerous criminals who have opposed the order of justice. Therefore, there is a high-ranking angel and hundreds of angel warriors responsible for guarding it. No angel can arbitrarily do so unless ordered by the King of Angels himself. Free the criminals among them. Who are you? Stop immediately, otherwise we will launch a direct attack. The two angel teams patrolling the perimeter were the first to discover this group of unidentified angels, and directly raised their flaming swords to stop the approaching group of angels. Why can't you even recognize me? Only then did the patrol team of the angel prison realize that this group of angels had not notified the angels in the angel prison in advance. The leader turned out to be the Holy Left Wing Binghua. Seeing this, the patrolling angels who were present quickly put down the flaming sword pointed at the sacred left wing and saluted at the same time. Sorry, Your Excellency Holy Left Wing, we didn't know it was you who came. It's okay, I suddenly thought that I had something to do, so I hurried over here, otherwise I'm afraid there would be quite a disturbance. And you did a great job in stopping me without being notified. Hearing this, the angel's face on the patrol showed a hint of joy. It was an extremely honorable thing to be praised by the Holy Left Wing. Please inform Angel Prison and tell me that I want to go in. Although it was strange why the Holy Left Wing didn't notify him in person, the angel on the patrol team didn't think too much before sending this message to the inside of the prison. The prison had no doubts and accepted it directly. Your Excellency Holy Left Wing, I have informed our captain. While speaking, the patrol also opened a passage and came out. Binghua nodded to express his gratitude, and then quickly led the group of angels behind him to quickly approach the angel prison. After entering the angel prison, no angels stopped Binghua and his group of angels along the way. Even the high-level angels guarding the prison just said hello to Binghua and went back. Until we reach the bottom of angel prison, only 2 compartments are activated. They hold the angel Shalan, who was sentenced to 10,000 years of imprisonment for various felonies thousands of years ago, and the storage unit that stores the core data of the World Eaters. At the same time, this is also the safest place in the entire prison. Even if a war god is imprisoned here, he cannot escape alone. Across the blue transparent barrier, Binghua looked at Shalan, who was wearing a metal ring on her wrist in the compartment, and spoke with a trembling tone. Long time no see, Shalan. The 4 prison guarding angels accompanying him were wondering why the Holy Left Wing felt different today than usual. Facing Binghua's words, Shalan on the other side of the barrier snorted before speaking lightly. I wonder why the Holy Left Wing came to me specifically today. I don't remember when my relationship with you was so good. Seeing Shalan's appearance, Binghua seemed to react and quickly stretched out his hand. A ball of energy with countless intersecting lines appeared inside, and then began to rapidly expand and spread to all the angels present, and even the entire angel prison. Suddenly, a harsh alarm sounded inside the angel prison, and then the angel prison stress system suddenly started. All passages were blocked by energy barriers, and only those with the highest authority could pass through. Seeing this scene, the prison guarding angels Aishe who accompanied Binghua realized that this holy left-winger seemed to be doing something terrible. He quickly distanced himself from Binghua, raised the flaming sword in his hand, and the dark energy cutting was activated, and the sword blade turned red and was filled with surging dark energy. Your Excellency Holy Left Wing, what are you going to do? Do you want to violate the laws and regulations established by the King of Angels Kesha? Binghua ignored the actions of the four prison guarding angels and slowly lowered his raised arm. Then a silver thin sword suddenly appeared and was held in Binghua's hand, and his figure suddenly disappeared. The four guarding angels' eyes widened when they saw this, and they quickly looked around themselves. Suddenly, a silver sword blade suddenly emerged from the chest of one of the four angels. The guarding angel opened her mouth to say something, but red lines spread from the wound to all sides along the skin under her armor. Before the guarding angel, whose chest was pierced by Binghua, fell to the ground, Binghua disappeared again and appeared next to another guarding angel. The rapier in his hand pierced his heart mercilessly. The last two guarding angels could not escape the fate of death, and both fell to the elusive ice flower sword. Shalan, who was behind the barrier, was dumbfounded by all this, wondering if the holy left wing had gone crazy and suddenly went on a killing spree, and the ones he killed were the guarding angels. After taking care of all the guarding angels present, Binghua quickly came to the energy barrier imprisoning Shalan, opened a micro wormhole and transported the two dark metal triangular prisms. Then an insect door opened between the two triangular prisms, and the other end actually passed through the energy barrier and opened in Shalan's prison room. What do you mean? By now, even a fool knows that there must be something wrong with this holy left wing. Shalan did not go directly through the wormhole, but asked calmly. Binghua smiled and the light on his body began to distort. When the distorted light dissipated, what was revealed was Binghua, except for the Angel King's armor, stomach and robe, and his skin and hair were glowing with a black and gray metallic color. The next moment, the black-gray metal shattered into countless tiny particles, revealing an extremely familiar face of Shalan inside. It's you. Yunlan. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 530. No matter how much she thought, Shalan never imagined that the holy left-winger who came to visit her would actually be her good sister, Yunlan. Okay, Sister Shalan, come out quickly, let's make a long story short. I deliberately disguised myself as the holy left wing and came to rescue you. Now that I have been exposed, we must leave here quickly, otherwise we will suffer the consequences of Merlot Heavenly Court reacting. But Shalan, who came out of the prison cell through the wormhole, wanted to say something after hearing this, but was interrupted by Yunlan. Sister Shalan, we are in a hurry now. I will explain it to you in detail on the way. After saying that, Yunlan cut off the bracelet on Shalan's forearm with her sword, pulled Shalan away, completely ignoring the storage unit of the World Eater God that was shaking in another compartment. Yunlan led Shalan all the way through the wormhole and through the energy barrier blocking the way. Any guarding angels who dared to block the way were killed by Yunlan mercilessly. Shalan, who was freed from the suppressor to suppress dark energy, gradually regained her previous fighting power. No angel could stop the dozen or so angels, mainly the two of them, along the way. Merlot Heavenly Court noticed something was wrong after losing contact with Angel Prison. Soon after, the high-ranking angel in charge of Angel Prison sent news that Angel Shalan had escaped from prison and asked Merlot Heavenly Court for quick support. This news passed directly over the other high-level angels in the middle and was reported to Kesha. After receiving the news, the king of angels was extremely angry and immediately sent Ruaning, the deputy of Tiancheng Defense, to lead 2 high-level angel teams to suppress it. Angel Shalan must not be allowed to escape. After giving this order, Kesha went directly to the palace where Liang Bing was imprisoned and found a seat to sit across from Liang Bing. Something happened at Angel Prison. Shalan, your former right-wing escort, escaped from prison. Liang Bing pretended to be surprised and said, Shalan escaped from prison? How is this possible? Why did she escape from prison? 10,000 years is nothing more than a counting unit to us, and she does not need to take such risks for the sake of freedom. Isn't it, sister, that you deliberately made it up to test me? Kesha was furious when she heard this, and only the word "you" came out. After taking a few deep breaths, Kesha finally suppressed the anger in her heart and her voice returned to its original tone. Liang Bing, I'm warning you one last time. No matter what you want to do, you still have time to make things right before everything is settled. After speaking, Kesha left directly without waiting for Liang Bing to answer. She didn't want to stay here anymore and quarrel with Liang Bing. On the other side, Binghua led an army of 200,000 angels to stop the huge army of demon civilization, but the demons actually backed down after the arrival of the angels. Binghua was already unhappy when she saw this, and directly ordered the fleet to press forward, but the demon army refused to fight. Every time the angel took a step forward, the demon army took a step back. Binghua was confused when she saw this, but her mission was to defeat or even annihilate the demon army that dared to invade Angel Nebula, so she directly divided her forces and used part of her troops to block the demon army's retreat and attack from both front and back. Although this move cannot directly annihilate the demon army, if it goes well, it can defeat it. The rest is the angels' strength, small-scale cleaning operations. The war between angels and demons is still going on, but Merlot Heaven has been in turmoil during this period. After the incident in the angel prison, Ruaning, who was sent by Kesha to capture the escaped angel Shalan, was defeated in reverse. According to Ruaning's report, a demon fleet appeared near the angel prison, and there were 2 demons who could rival her, so she was defeated. At this time, Kesha thought of the angel legion stationed in Merlot Heaven, but the next moment she realized, all the angel legions had been taken away by Binghua to stop the demon army. In order to be sure, Kesha directly mobilized thousands of Merlot guard angels, and Elan led the team to support Ruaning and completely eliminate the demon fleet. As for the capture of Shalan, it was no longer important in the face of the invasion of the demon, a foreign enemy. The only thing that bothered Kesha now was how the demon got through the angels' layers of investigation system and came to the vicinity of the Merlot Heavenly Court. On the angel prison side, after disguising themselves as demons and defeating several high-level angels such as Ruaning who came to support, Shalan and Yunlin directly led the high-level demons in the fleet and used disguised information to pass through the angels' stargate. He went directly to Merlot Heaven. As for the ordinary demons and fallen ones, as well as those battleships, they became abandoned. By calculating the time, Yunlan and a group of angels and demons entered the Merlot Heaven just in time with the second wave of support from Milan. Since the entire process was covered by the investigative angels who were the best at sneaking in and investigating intelligence in the Merlot Heavenly system, Yunlan and his group of angels and demons were not exposed. The reason why it went so smoothly was because the investigating angels and demons knew all the defense systems and operating methods in Merlot Heaven. In addition, the identification information had been forged long ago. It can be said that all this was done without anyone noticing. Liang Bing, who was in prison, checked the time and when he felt it was almost up, he shouted to the angel on duty outside the energy barrier. Go and report to Queen Kesha, saying that I know I was wrong and want to see her. Just when the angel on duty was about to say something, a figure walked out from behind the wall in the blind spot of Liang Bing's sight. It was he 11. Liang Bing, you are finally willing to bow your head. We are all sisters, so why should the relationship be so tense? As long as you are willing to admit your mistake to your sister, you will no longer have to suffer the pain of this imprisonment. When Liang Bing saw He-11 appearing, an unexpected thought flashed through his mind. He was also an angel king after all. How could Kesha only let 2 guarding angels watch over her? In the entire Tiancheng, except for Binghua who had already left, only He-11 had this qualification. Fortunately, he had anticipated the situation, otherwise his plan would have failed. Kesha came over without letting Liang Bing wait too long. Her face was obviously much better than when she left last time. Sister, I admit that I did something wrong before. After thinking about it carefully during this time, some of your ideas are actually right. I was too impatient and impulsive. But everything I do, whether it's studying space genes or delving into void theory, is for the future of angels. Sister, you and I share the same love for angel civilization, and all my starting points are for angels. This is something we 2 sisters have in common. Liang Bing was the first to speak as soon as they met, and her words were very sincere. Seeing this, Kesha couldn't help but be slightly touched, but she was not stupid, and of course she would not directly believe her sister's one-sided words. However, it is always a good thing that Liang Bing can bow his head and admit his mistake. After all, she is his sister, and imprisoning her is a last resort. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 531. As long as you know, our angels are in a great situation now, and there is no need to take risks to study the void. As long as some time passes and the celestial computer belonging to our angels is completed, our angelic civilization can get rid of its dependence on the super seminary. When the time comes, whether it's blowing up black holes or launching super projects like the anti-void God creation project, we angels can do it alone. When describing these future ideas to Liang Bing, Kesha's tone was no longer as cold and hard as usual, but contained a touch of prayer for the future. Hearing this, Liang Bing couldn't help but feel waves in her heart, but she has already embarked on another path, a path different from Kesha's. She will use the cutting-edge void theory, combined with her own research on time and space, to walk in the path of the entire universe. Forefront. Only by staying ahead in technology can the angel race remain at the top of the universe. On the way to achieving this goal, no existence can limit her. The most important thing is that Liang Bing can no longer look back. So even though he was still struggling in his heart, Liang Bing was still following his plan on the surface, continuing to paralyze Kesha and He-11's vigilance towards him. Although this trick may have limited effect on Kesha, who has been dealing with various civilizations all year round, Hexi on the side is different. In Liang Bing's image, He-11, her rival, although intelligent and quick-thinking, was focused on scientific research. He was very knowledgeable in politics and intrigue, but he was completely clueless. The conversation between Liang Bing and Kesha went very smoothly. One of them deliberately eased the relationship, and the other tried every means to cooperate. How could it not go smoothly? And at this critical moment, Tianquan's alarm suddenly sounded, extremely harsh. When Kesha heard this, her mood that had finally improved was shattered. Kesha is not a fool. It would be better to say that if she were a fool, she would have fallen into the cruel war between male and female angels, and she would not be able to establish the current Merlot heaven. Combining everything before, Kesha already had a guess in her mind, but she was not willing to admit it yet, hoping that some angel would stop in the end. But now it seems that the situation is developing towards the point where I least expect it. Kesha's sudden change of face surprised Hexi, who was Yurang. Although she was also shocked that the Merlot heavenly defense system she had established was invaded, Hexy just believed that the enemy might have some invasion methods unknown to the angels. Hexy's idea was purely from the perspective of a scientific researcher. She had never imagined that an angel had exposed the weaknesses of Merlot's defense system and thus lured the wolf into the house. I hope this has nothing to do with you, Hexy, keep an eye on her for me. Kesha just left these words coldly and left simply, leaving He-11 a little confused, but she still agreed. After Kesha left the palace where Liangbing was imprisoned, she quickly rushed to the invaded area of Tiancheng and found that it was the hall where the Melo conference was held, which made her feel angry again. When she arrived with a team of angels, the angel on duty in front of the conference hall had fallen to the ground, and the door of the conference hall was completely opened. Kesha stepped into it. Dozens of demons with pointed ears and blue skin, wearing high-tech metal armor, and a pair of flesh wings on their backs saw another angel coming and shouted excitedly. "Here comes another one, kill her." Seeing his sister leaving, Liangbing immediately showed an anxious look on his face, looked at He-11 and pleaded. "Hexy, can you open this barrier and let me out? I want to help my sister." Now that Angel Guard and Binghua are not in Tiancheng, the one who can directly invade Tiancheng must be a powerful enemy that has never been seen before. It is very likely to be dangerous for my sister to deal with it alone. He-11's expression was a little tangled. What Liangbing said did make sense. Although she had not participated in the war during this period, she still knew about the demon invasion of Angel Nebula and Binghua's intervention. Not to mention the news that the angel prison was breached and Ruaning was defeated not long ago. In He-11's opinion, the devil who could cause all this must be a powerful enemy of the angels. Now this powerful enemy has directly entered Tiancheng. Although Kesha is powerful, but now that the guards and left and right hands are not around, it is indeed a bit dangerous. Liangbing continued to instill in He-11 the power of the devil. All of this was probably a conspiracy of the devil, with the purpose of beheading the angel King Yunyun. Liangbing just bullied He-11 because he had never fought a demon personally and had no concept of the demon's strength. If Binghua were here, he could easily expose Liangbing's lies. In the end, He-11's concern for Kesha gained the upper hand, and she also wanted to help Kesha against the enemy. She thought that she was quite strong and should not hold Kesha back. At least it would be better than anything else here. Can't be strong. Thinking of this, He-11 didn't hesitate and turned off the barrier generator directly, and at the same time warned Liangbing. "I hope you are not cheating on me, otherwise I will never forgive you." A smile appeared on Liangbing's face, and she stepped out of the room and passed in front of He-11. At the same time, there was also her sworn assurance. "Don't worry, she is my biological sister, how could I harm her? Then I'll take the first step." After speaking, Liangbing stepped directly into the opened wormhole and disappeared in front of He-11. He-11 didn't wait too long, and asked the guarding angel who was still here to follow her, and immediately rushed to the direction of Kesha. After a moment of fighting, it couldn't be called a battle, it was just a one-sided massacre. Only a few demons nailed to the ground were left in the Melo Hall. Kesha came to her throne, turned around and sat down to look down. Looking at the few demons below who she specifically spared. "I'll ask, you answer." Kesha's voice was cold and short, just like her mood at the moment. She was condescending and combined with the corpse of the demon lying on the ground below, she exuded a terrifying power that made the demon below split his liver and gallbladder. However, one of the demons who was nailed by the silver blade raised his head with difficulty and shouted at Kesha. "What will happen if you don't answer?" "Then die, just like this." After Kesha finished speaking, she raised her hand slightly, and several silver blades appeared above the head of the companion who had just questioned the demon. They fell together the next moment. After hearing the sound of slurping, the demon whom Kesha used as a model became a hedgehog. However, the super soldier's body prevented the demon from dying immediately. However, his body was pierced by several silver blades and nailed to the ground. He could not move and could not even speak. He could only scream incomprehensibly and bear the blow of the sharp blades piercing his body. Bitter. Haha, don't think that this will make us surrender, we are all warriors born from hell. No one can make us surrender except the Queen. Not even you. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifen Si Wang. Chapter 532. After the demon who seemed to be the leader of this group of demons finished speaking loudly with difficulty, he lowered his head and coughed up blood. It was obvious that he was seriously injured. However, Kesha accurately captured the word Queen in the key message from the demon's mouth just now. She frowned slightly and ignored the demon's speech just now, and asked aloud. Who is your queen? Bah! You dictator, our queen is a great being who led us to build a free world. You have no right to know her name. The demon spat, and then spoke enthusiastically, his words full of contempt for Kesha. Kesha stood up from the throne and took a few steps forward, came close to the demons and said. Don't think that if you don't tell me, I won't get the information I want. You are also products of the super soldier system, so you should know about the dark plane. As long as I read the dark plane information that records you, everything about you will be invisible to me. At this moment, the space behind Kesha suddenly blurred. Kesha felt something and was about to turn around, but a flaming sword with a red blade came out from her abdomen. Suddenly, a sense of powerlessness spread over Kesha's body, and the sound of a voice made Kesha feel even more sad. Sister, your vigilance has dropped drastically. Do you think that after becoming the king of angels, you don't have to fight the enemy anymore? Liang Bing's figure appeared on Kesha's back, the hand holding the sword hilt loosened, and he walked towards the devil over Kesha who was slowly falling. Okay, stand up quickly, we don't have much time, there are still many things to do. After Liang Bing finished speaking, he walked past the demons without stopping and headed towards the exit of Mellow Hall. Liang Bing. Kesha's voice sounded like a roar behind her, but Liang Bing had no intention of looking back. Just like her heart at the moment, dark energy and purple energy lightning began to pour out of her body. After the purple lightning and dark energy dissipated, Liang Bing's image changed drastically. The original Angel King's armor turned into a leather, black and purple combat uniform that fit the curves of the body, symbolizing the white wings of an angel. The mechanical wings were cold and glowing with metallic luster. After that, Liang Bing's words, which were like saying goodbye to her identity as an angel, came to Kesha's ears. From now on, please call me Demon Queen, Morgana. Kesha supported the ground with her hands and watched her sister disappear from sight. At this moment, she felt very complicated, including disappointment in Liang Bing and hatred of herself for being soft-hearted. Suddenly the piercing Tiancheng alarm sounded again, and at the same time there was an emotionless announcement that kept repeating the content of one sentence. Merlot Heaven is now on level 1 alert. All area guarding angels are requested to rush to Merlot Heaven's 024 area to detect that the Angel Legion has rebelled against the Angel Civilization. The Scouting Angel Legion rebelled? The Scouting Angel Legion came from Merlot Heavenly Court. But soon Kesha stopped thinking about this. She forcibly healed the pain in her heart, stood up from the ground, pulled out the flaming sword that penetrated her abdomen, and threw it aside. The reason why Kesha didn't resist just now was because the flaming sword carried a virus that inhibited the divine body. On the other hand, it was also due to her own emotions. But Kesha is the king of angels after all. She has made enough mistakes because of Liang Bing, but from now on she will completely face Liang Bing's problems. This is her, Kesha, the king of angels. Since you claim to be the demon queen, then I will eliminate the demons from this universe. I wonder how you can still be the so-called demon queen. Liang Bing's plan was perfect. When Kesha recovered and took over the command of Merlot Heaven, after no longer deceiving herself, the queen who once drove the male angels out of the Angel Nebula finally returned. Liang Bing has an extremely complete retreat plan. The defense system of Merlot Heaven can be easily bypassed by Liangbing, who is familiar with these systems. With her Angel King authority, she can come and go with ease. After Kesha took over the command power of Merlot Heavenly Court, the first thing she did was to contact He-11 and cancel Liangbing's authority. Although the confused Hexi didn't understand why Kesha issued this order, he still complied with it. But it was still too late. For some reason, Liangbing's subordinates suddenly gathered a large number of reconnaissance angels. They paralyzed Tianquan's defense system, and then released Liangbing's subordinates who had been imprisoned by Kesha before, and drove aboard the Apocalypse computing cloud. The Skyblade battleship quickly withdrew from Tianquan. Liangbing originally wanted to take the demons away from Tianquan, but Kesha's reaction was not slow and directly blocked the retreat of the demons who were causing chaos everywhere. Liangbing was also decisive, directly using the demon as an abandoned child to drag down Kesha's guarding angels, and finally successfully jumped into space on the Skyblade. When drastic changes occurred in Merlot Heaven, 5 dissatisfied Skyblade combat units led by Binghua also launched a decisive battle against the demons. The 2 Skyblades relied on their excellent performance to jump to the retreat direction of the demon army in advance, while Binghua led the remaining 3 Skyblades to quickly press on the demons before they could react. So the decisive battle began. Faced with the angels' attack from both sides, the demon army collapsed at the first touch, which greatly exceeded Binghua's expectations. But this is also a good thing. After that, the process that angels are very familiar with is to divide, surround, and annihilate the enemy. However, the size of the demon army is too huge, and half of the demons fled in all directions. Binghua didn't care. After all, the number of angels under her command was only about 200,000. Facing millions of various demon warriors and their fleets, it was normal that they could not be annihilated in one fell swoop. But now that the main force of demons has been defeated, she doesn't need to worry about the rest. The high-level angels commanding on the battlefield will naturally find and annihilate the fleeing demons one by one. After doing all this, Binghua, who was worried about Liangbing's affairs in Merlot Heaven, led Ran Yuming back to Merlot Heaven. But what Binghua didn't expect was that she was surrounded by a group of guarding angels as soon as she arrived at the Merlot Heaven through the Stargate. "What are you doing?" Ran Yuming stood up and protected his queen behind him, forcing back the surrounding guarding angels. "Humph, the Holy Left Wing colluded with Liangbing to rebel against Merlot Heavenly Court, and now he dares to come back. The sisters will take down the Holy Left Wing." A voice came that made Binghua unhappy. He raised his eyes and looked in the direction from which the voice came. It was Ruaning, the angel's guard assistant. She was standing behind the guard angel and giving orders. "How dare you!" Ran shouted, and the flaming sword in his hand flashed with thunder, which immediately made the guarding angels who came forward not dare to continue to move forward. The name of the thunder god of war is quite resounding among the angels, and the guarding angels are not fools. Although they are forced to act under the orders of their superior Ruaning, no one wants to die in vain at the sword of their compatriots. Binghua did not stop Ran's actions. Although she didn't know what happened, a mere defensive officer under Kesha couldn't scare him. It would be better to say that if she backed down, it would be a problem for her to gain a foothold in Tianquan in the future. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 533. Ran looked angry when he saw that the Merlot guarding angels around him had no intention of retreating. His queen used to be on an equal footing with Kesha, and later became one of the Holy Wings and served as the military commander of the angels. In the entire Merlot Heavenly Court, only Kesha, the King of Angels, has the right to question her own queen, and she only has the right to question her. Ruaning is a bit stuck at the moment. She is trying to support Kesha. She wants to take advantage of the critical moment of Liangbing's rebellion and use Binghua's accusation of colluding with Liangbing to remove Binghua's status as a holy leftist. From now on, whether it is herself or Elan, being promoted to the Holy Left Wing can expand Queen Kesha's control over the angelic civilization. Moreover, Merlot Heaven does have relevant evidence that Binghua colluded with Liang Bing, but it has not been confirmed yet, so Ruaning is not causing trouble for no reason. But now the situation is a bit beyond Ruaning's control. Binghua's influence is too strong, or rather her reputation is too great, and the guarding angels don't even dare to step forward. In fact, it was useless to step forward. Binghua didn't intend to stop the situation before it got out of control. He planned to see how Ruaning behaved. With the two god-level angels Angel Ran and Angel Ming coming forward, Ruaning didn't dare to push too hard, otherwise she would be embarrassed if the other party rushed up to attack her desperately. Just as Binghua and the other angels were at war with the Merlot guarding angels, there was a possibility of another angel internal fight breaking out in the Merlot Heaven at any time. Ruaning received a communication, and then issued an order with a reluctant expression. Everyone spread out and give way to the Holy Left Wing. Hearing this, the guarding angels also breathed a sigh of relief, immediately put down their flaming swords and retreated to both sides of the passage. Many of these Merlot guarding angels grew up listening to the legends of Binghua and Kesha. They were also under great pressure to raise their swords to the legends they once respected. Before Binghua and the other group of angels had completely left Ruaning's sight, another group of angels appeared from the horizon, and their leader was Ailan, the defender of Tiancheng. As soon as Ailan landed not far in front of Binghua, he immediately saluted. "I apologize to you for Ruaning's recklessness, Holy Left Wing." Facing Ailan's low profile, Binghua did not continue to be as cold-faced as before. Compared to Ruaning, who displeased her, for Ailan, her former army commander's gentle and tough sister, she really couldn't feel any disgusting emotions. So Binghua didn't make any detours and directly asked Ailan. "Let's not talk about Ruaning's matter for now, she and I don't get along at all. But what happened to Merlot Heaven while I was gone? Why are there traces of battle?" Ailan's expression darkened, and he finally gave up his position to talk while walking. On the way to the Mellow Conference Hall, Ailan told Binghua everything that had happened before, and there was no exaggeration in it. After Binghua learned the whole story about Liang Bing's rebellion, her expression was silent, her heart was filled with emotions, and there was a hint of shame and anger at being deceived. She hated herself for being so unprepared for Liang Bing, that she didn't discover her plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain before the situation completely got out of hand, and foolishly led troops to stop the demon. In fact, Binghua could leave the task of blocking the demon to Ran and Ming, and sit in the Merlot heavenly court herself. Then Liang Bing wouldn't be able to make any waves at all. She has the confidence to do this. In the meantime, Binghua was also a little dissatisfied with Kesha's frequent indulgence of Liang Bing in this matter, which resulted in Liang Bing rebelling against the angel civilization. After reading the overall review of Merlot to Heavenly Court's rebellion against Liang Bing, Binghua discovered that Liang Bing only had less than 30,000 angel troops and some miscellaneous fish demons. Not to mention the tens of thousands of elite Merlot guarding angels in the celestial city. Even with the full firepower of Kesha, the king of angels, these tens of thousands of angels were unable to take Liang Bing away under her nose. But despite Liang Bing's various schemes and Kesha's frequent misfortunes, they managed to complete the impossible task of rebellion in Merlot Heaven. Of course, this also exposed many internal problems of the angel civilization. The defense system was too loose for angel internal personnel, and the troops were mobilized too freely without her as the angel commander. The angels on duty acted too rigidly and did not report the investigation of the angel legion's unprovoked entry into the Mellow Heavenly Court, making the opponent the biggest trump card in Liang Bing's hands. Binghua was stopped by the angel on duty in front of the Merlot Conference Hall, claiming that Queen Kesha specifically ordered that only the Holy Left Wing could enter. Ran, who was accompanying him, opened his mouth to say something but was interrupted by Binghua raising his hand. "Ran, you and Ming wait outside, I'll go in by myself." After saying that, Binghua walked directly into the Melo conference hall. After taking a few steps, he heard a click and the door behind him was closed. At this time, the entire hall was quiet. The sunlight falling from the dome illuminated the hall extremely brightly. There were still some scratches and cracks on the floor on both sides of the aisle, which were obviously traces of the battle that had not yet been repaired. Binghua's eyes moved forward and finally fell on Kesha, who was sitting on the throne of the King of Angels. Kesha also raised her eyes almost at the same time, and their eyes met in the air. Binghua, do you think I, the King of Angels, have failed particularly badly? Under my leadership, the angel civilization has split, which is the most undesirable problem. Kesha's voice was emotionless, and her energy seemed to have collapsed. You did fail as the King of Angels this time. Not only you, I also failed as the Holy Left Wing. We were all led by Liang Bing, which led to the situation developing into what it is now. When Kesha heard Binghua say this, her originally depressed expression was stunned, and she didn't understand why Binghua said this. Seeing Kesha's appearance, Binghua couldn't bear it. Although he was angry at Liang Bing for deceiving him, what about Kesha? She was attacked, betrayed, and even abandoned her identity as an angel in front of her own sister, choosing to become the Queen of Demons and sever all ties with her sister, the King of Angels. Kesha, I know you are very tired now and want to shut yourself up here in a daze without thinking about anything. But you are the King of Angels, the leader of angel civilization, and the creator of the righteous order. All angels are waiting for your decision. How long will you continue to look like this? The most important thing is that Liang Bing will definitely roll on the ground with joy when she sees you like this. Don't you want to catch her back and let her know the consequences of doing these things? Binghua said loudly, stimulating Kesha's nerves. Kesha's eyes suddenly became sharp, and her energy quickly returned. As if everything before was an illusion, she looked at Binghua and spoke. You can take back all those words of yours. I just wanted to take a rest, and I had already made a decision in my heart. It seems that you did not help Liang Bing. My judgment was wrong. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 534. You test me. Binghua felt a little uncomfortable, but his expression did not change. A choice made out of desperation. Your information and face appeared repeatedly to facilitate Liang Bing's defection, even though I believed you would not help her. But I've already made a mistake once, and I don't want to make a mistake a second time. Angelic civilization cannot withstand the second turmoil. Kesha directly made the matter clear, because it couldn't be hidden at all, and Binghua would definitely react afterwards. If she didn't make it clear on the spot, she and Binghua would most likely be estranged, but even so, the relationship between them would begin to grow apart, because once the seeds of suspicion were planted, it was impossible to eradicate them. Binghua also felt very sad. Even though she knew it was Liang Bing's instigation, she and Kesha were also affected. Kesha pretended to be lost just now, just to see Binghua's reaction. Binghua had reservations about the justice order. Kesha knew this, and so did Liang Bing. At the same time, Binghua also owed Liang Bing 2 promises. Liang Bing had told her about it, so Kesha also knew about it. So Binghua had the motive to help Liang Bing and open the door for him, but after some testing, Binghua was obviously very upset about being deceived by Liang Bing. So Kesha stopped testing her. If she continued, it would be too much. Binghua had no interest in continuing this topic and directly changed the subject. How do you plan to solve Liang Bing's matter? There is nothing to discuss. Even if she is my biological sister, I will not let her betray the angel civilization so easily. And this matter should involve the Super Seminary. The sword Liang Bing stabbed me contained a special virus that could inhibit the activity of the divine body. It's not that I underestimate her. With her technology and the computing power of Tiankai computing cloud, she still can't do this kind of thing. Many thoughts suddenly flashed through Binghua's mind. All the things that had happened in the past were recalled in her mind, and some things were suddenly connected to everything. If the Super Seminary is behind Liang Bing's defection, they should have covered Liang Bing's last disappearance, but what is their purpose? Could it be that they want to weaken us angels? It should be like this. Angels are getting bigger and bigger, and their power has even surpassed that of the former Shin Kamikawa. They should be afraid that our family will dominate, so they want to weaken our strength and slow down our discovery speed, otherwise there will be nothing left for them in the universe in the future. Kesha's face was cold, and she was obviously dissatisfied with the behavior of the Super Seminary. Although there was no evidence, her intuition told her that her judgment was correct. Binghua is the same at this moment, and he is extremely disgusted with the behind-the-scenes tricks of the Super Seminary. I will go to the Super Seminary later to confront space. I should be able to get the location where Liang Bing disappeared last time. No need, our celestial supercomputer will be completed soon, and the miniature universe model is also ready, as long as the celestial computer is successfully built. With the data from Liang Bing's last space transfer experiment, it is not difficult to find her location. This time I want to take this opportunity to terminate the cooperation with Super Seminary, cut off their resource supply, let the known universe know the style of Super Seminary, and see how they can continue the anti-void god-making project. Binghua frowned slightly when he heard this. Kesha was going to play a big game. The three major anti-void god-making projects currently being carried out by the Super Theological Academy cost a lot of angels' efforts. Now Kesha said she would abandon them. Seeing Binghua's look, Kesha explained aloud, "We angels have already obtained a lot of technical information on the three major anti-void god-building projects, and all that remains is time. I believe Angel's scientific research department is no worse than theirs." Liang Bing's rebellion had a huge impact on the angel civilization, especially the angels in the investigation system. On the one hand, they were shocked, and on the other hand, they felt confused. He was shocked that the queen he was loyal to had defected from the angelic civilization without taking him with him. What he was confused about was what he should do next. In the end, these investigative angels couldn't stand the surveillance and vigilance of other angels. Most of them chose to apply for retirement from the Merlot Heavenly Court, and a few of them disappeared without a trace. Kesha, on the other hand, resisted the thought of staying and agreed to the retirement application of these angels, because they could no longer gain the trust of her sisters, and forcing them to stay would only increase the dispute. The investigative angel system, which was once responsible for the angel civilization intelligence system, was removed from the military establishment of Merlot Heavenly Court. This has to be said to be a very regretful thing. Binghua was very busy. While dealing with the transition of the Scout Angels' work after their retirement, he also participated in the construction of the celestial computer. Although Binghua's external image has always been that of a war god, she actually made her fortune through scientific research. She has been involved in research on supergenes, various energy drives, and even celestial computers. It was only because of Hexy's genius and the need to deal with large and small matters that he did not participate in various angel research projects. Now the angel civilization skyline computer construction is entering the final stage. In order to keep up with the progress, Binghua has also begun to participate in it, and the same is true for Kesha. With the participation of three of the most outstanding researchers in the angel civilization, the construction of the celestial computer progressed rapidly, and it was finally completed several years after Liang Bing's defection. Although the angel has not moved in the past few years, Liang Bing has been extremely active. Her alias is Morgana, the Demon King, who claims to be the main god of the demon civilization, spreading fear of the void, and a theory called absolute freedom. It is advocated that all civilizations should develop freely, compete with each other, and do what they want to do, whether it is aggression or anything else, because only in this way can science and technology advance rapidly. Progress can only be accelerated by knowing the universe. Only in this way can the known universe have a chance to fight against the unknown civilization that may come at any time and the fear of the void that destroys everything. At the same time, the demons also began to imitate the righteous order of the angelic civilization and established the so-called free world. However, the two were completely different, almost like the opposite. For a time, the name of Demon King Morgana was known to everyone in the high-level civilizations of the known universe. And just as the Demon King Morgana was building her demon kingdom, two major events happened in the known universe. The first is that the angelic civilization, which is currently the most influential in the known universe, suddenly announced that it would stop cooperating with the Super Seminary and would no longer support their research. At the same time, it banned the spread of void fear theory within the righteous order. The second thing is that the angelic civilization publicly declared war on the demonic civilization, accusing the demonic civilization of being a destroyer of order and a chaotic and evil heresy. The entire known universe should join forces to attack it. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 535. While announcing these matters to the outside world, the angels also held a mellow meeting internally, in which almost all current senior executives participated, and the current angel warriors participated remotely. Kesha officially announced at the meeting that Liangbing had become a traitor to the angelic civilization, and set rules for him including defecting, researching anti-angel, that is, demonic technology, spreading fear in the void and creating panic, plundering lives at will, creating chaos, and violating justice, order, law, and a series of crimes. The result of the verdict is also obvious. Liangbing will be suspended from any research projects in the Merlot Heavenly Court, and her status as an assistant officer will be revoked. From now on, Liangbing will be the #1 criminal in the angel civilization, and the angels will spare no effort to attack her. Afterwards, Kesha publicly announced the termination of all cooperation with the Super Seminary. From now on, the Super Seminary itself and its personnel will no longer be protected by angels, and at the same time, the Super Seminary will be expelled from the Angel Nebula. With the end of this meeting, the situation in the known universe fell into unprecedented turmoil. The angels and the Super Seminary, two alliances of forces that had stood at the top of the known universe for thousands of years, suddenly announced their disintegration. As if they had turned against each other, the Super Seminary was expelled by the angels in embarrassment. At the same time, many cooperation projects such as the plan to blow up the black hole, the anti-void God-making project, the invincible body, the third-generation God body, the God-killing weapon, and the application of dark iron were terminated. However, no civilization knows why the two major forces parted ways. Neither the angels nor the Super Theological Seminary made any public announcements, only claiming that it was due to ideological differences. After doing all this, the angel civilization began to prepare for war and continuously gathered its troops, which put other advanced civilizations in the known universe on alert. Among them, the armies of several civilizations such as the Liang civilization, the Dino Galaxy, and the Island Thunder Blade Alliance have entered a state of combat readiness, fearing that the angels will attack them. They usually hinder the expansion of the order of justice. At the same time, in the Demon King City, Liangbing stood on top of the dark purple demon throne, with angels and demons clearly lined up on both sides below. However, all the angels here at this moment no longer have the holy and heroic temperament they had during the Merlot Heavenly Court period, but have turned into gloomy, dangerous female warriors. Their armor, which was originally mainly silver, turned into black half-length armor with purple silk patterns, and they wore close-fitting leather combat uniforms inside. The original brown and golden hair of these angels were also dyed black, and their backs were white. His wings turned into ominous black wings. And these former angel warriors now have a new identity, that is, fallen angels, which is very consistent with their identities and experiences. Compared with the fallen angels who were uniformly armored and dressed in uniform, the queue on the devil's side was much more chaotic. There were all kinds of crooked melons and dates, different heights and looks, and ferocious and handsome faces. It looked very messy. However, the demons who can stand here are the ones who stand out from the many warriors of various civilizations who have been transformed into demons. Most of them can compete with second-generation angels, and a small number of them who have been strengthened by Liangbing can even compete with third-generation angels. Don't fall behind. Liangbing stood up from the demon throne and clapped her hands, with a proud smile on her face. Looking at her team, she was now full of confidence. Okay, everyone, please stop arguing and give this queen some face. Let's talk about some serious business next. Liangbing's words didn't feel like a king at all, she didn't have the airs that a king should have, and the words she spoke were also full of her personal characteristics. But the many demons and fallen angels present actually stopped making noise and stood quietly in their respective positions. The hall became serious for a while. Well, this makes you look like a high-level person. What you used to do is called freedom at best, loose at worst, and rabble at worst. Who are we? We are the founders of a free world. What we pursue is unfettered freedom, but it is not yet time for us to pursue that kind of freedom without any worries. According to the latest information obtained by this queen, Kesha, the dictator, regards us as a thorn in the flesh, and wants to destroy the free world we have finally established, and then carry out her evil dictatorship. If we are defeated, everyone will be bound by her unreasonable rules and regulations. Needless to say, if we really follow her set of judgments, we will all end up being purified by the flames. So we must rise up and tell Kesha, that dictator, that our freedom is right and that her order is vulnerable to us. Liangbing's tone was passionate, and his words were full of derogation of the justice order and constant promotion of his own free theory. At the same time, he waved his arms to cheer up the demons present. Although all this seemed very low level, it was extremely effective. All the demons shouted enthusiastically in response to their queen's remarks. They don't understand anything about order or freedom. They only know that following the queen and listening to the queen is the right thing to do. The fallen angels are very calm. They are all angels, and they are also affiliated with the investigation system. They know a lot of confidential information about the Merlot Heavenly Court, and they are well aware of what a behemoth the angel civilization is. Compared to their queen's optimism, they were very worried, but they did not choose to interrupt their queen's speech by pouring cold water on her face. After almost all the demons had left, Yun Lan, the commander of the Fallen Angel Legion, spoke up and suggested something to Liangbing. Queen, if Queen Kesha wants to attack us, we should not defend her legion head-on. Otherwise, with our current strength, we will be easily defeated and annihilated. Liangbing sat back on his demon throne, resting his cheek on his raised knuckles, looking at his black nails while answering Yun Ian's question. Of course I know this. No matter how the Angel Legion's tactics change in Binghua's hands, the core has always been the same three things: defeat, divide, and annihilate. But I never said that I wanted to fight her head-on. We have the most advanced space technology in the entire known universe. With our newly modified Demon Number 1 and the Wormhole Array, I definitely want to fight the Ice Flower this time. Ending her undefeated legend. After saying that, Liangbing suddenly remembered something and ordered to Yun Lan. Go to this location to receive a batch of resources. There are a lot of good things there. My devil's claws have also been made. This batch of resources is just for you to upgrade. Liangbing said and sent Yun Lan a coordinate. The location was very remote and relatively close to the sphere of influence of the Dino civilization. Queen, what is this? Liangbing smiled and said disdainfully. My sister has developed the angel civilization to its current scale, which has made many civilizations jealous and fearful. However, they only have so much magnanimity. They are all young people who can only do small things in secret. But the things they gave were pretty good, and if you don't take them, you won't get them for free. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 536. While the demons were preparing for war, the angel civilization's war preparations had also been completed. Kesha was preparing to fight in person this time, but she did not interfere with the affairs of the Angel Legion and entrusted the command to Binghua. The reason why Kesha planned to go on a personal expedition was to capture Liangbing with her own hands and throw her into an angel prison where she would be imprisoned for tens of thousands of years so that she could reflect and reflect. For the restless Liangbing, this is tantamount to the cruelest criminal law. It can be seen that Kesha was completely heartbroken by the lawless Liangbing this time, but she still had no intention of killing her out of consideration for the friendship between sisters. Ever since Liangbing was announced as the main god of the demon civilization, Binghua had been paying attention to her. When she discovered that Liangbing was establishing a free world, Binghua was surprised that she planned to copy the development model of the angel civilization. But the result was extremely disappointing to Binghua. What could it be called a world established by Liangbing? She developed a demon-affiliated civilization at will, and after giving demon genes to those free theoretical civilizations that were willing to believe in her, she ignored them. As a result, demon civilizations continued to oppress and plunder other surrounding civilizations. When they were surrounded by people who believed in the demon king Morgana, these demon civilizations even killed each other. It's like a real demon, chaotic and disorderly, which makes Binghua feel extremely disappointed with Liangbing. You didn't hesitate to defect from Merlot heaven just to get such a bird thing. Binghua's views on justice and order are too mild, and at the same time, his burden on the angel civilization is too heavy. In the future, he may have the idea of becoming a burden for the angel civilization, and this burden will be difficult to discard. As for Liangbing's free world, Binghua has a disgusting attitude. She hates this kind of order without any order. Without any restriction of rules, all civilizations are likely to develop like wild beasts. Therefore, for the sake of a just order that he felt was more pleasing to his eyes, Binghua was extremely concerned about the angel's action of destroying the free world. At the same time, he also wanted to let Liangbing know the consequences of deceiving him. This time, in order to completely destroy Liangbing's free world, Binghua mobilized the cruise fleet within the Order of Justice and gathered 20 Skyblade combat units, nearly 1,000,000 angel warriors. It also includes a high-level angel war group composed of 3 generations of angels with a total of 300 members. This war group is the mainstay of angel civilization and the reason why angel civilization is feared by other civilizations. Its components are very complex. Most of them are affiliated with the Civilization Observation Department and are civilized observers who can walk alone in the universe. A small number of them are guarding angels drawn from Marrow. As for these 300 beings who are known as demigods in advanced god-making civilizations, even a war god would not dare to act arrogantly in front of them. Even if they are the second-generation gods with the highest technological crystallization in the known universe, they would be slightly uncomfortable. Shen will be surrounded and killed. Under Binghua, who is the military commander, there are 6 legion commanding angels. They are He Chui, the former Tianji king's left-wing guard who was transferred back from the battle to annihilate the Wanderer civilization. Binghua's royal subordinates include Angel Ran and Angel Ming, known as the Thunder Gods of War, and Angel Ziluo, who performed outstandingly in the Black Star battle and was recently promoted. After that is Kesha's former left-wing guard, now the defense officer Alan. This time she is mainly responsible for the guard work of the King of Angels. Ruaning was originally on the list of players, but Kesha knew that she and Binghua were at odds, so she and Hexi stayed in the Merlot Heavenly Court. The last angel, who is also from the Kesha faction, is named Angel Nishang. She is a border guard angel. She recently took a rotation back to Merlot Heaven and happened to participate in this war. Although Binghua knew her, they didn't have much communication with each other, and he also knew very little about her. He only knew that she was once one of the famous and powerful angels under Kesha. This is not all, it is just the military strength of the angel civilization, and how could such a war be without the affiliated civilization of the angels? In response to the call of the angels, the Sakaz civilization dispatched 30 million Skitarii, of which 5 million were the Skitarius Night Corps, and 10 Skitar fleets were empty. Each Guardian fleet is composed of a comprehensive mothership, 6 large Guardian Night-class battleships, 16 medium-sized Night-class battleships, and more than 100 small Priest-class battleships. It can be said that the Sakaz people spent almost most of their wealth to respond to the angels' call. Several other affiliated civilizations were slightly inferior, but they did not take it lightly. The Cyber civilization dispatched 20 million combat legions and more than 1 million reformed warrior legions. The Kebrians all had fleets and interstellar infantry regiments, and the same was true for the Megara people. There are more than 100 million auxiliary troops. In Binghua's plan, they are the core of the battle against ordinary demons and fallen ones. With them in the angels, they no longer have to work hard to clean up those troublesome demonic fallen ones. Finally, after several years of preparation, in the 20th year after Liangbing defected to Tiancheng, the angels launched what is known as the first war between angels and demons in the history of the universe. Binghua had been waiting for the start signal of this war for some time, and now it was finally here. Angel's celestial computer used the experimental data from the last time Liangbing disappeared to reverse engineer her location during her disappearance. It was a planet named by Liangbing himself. It did not appear in Angel's star chart or database. It was named Kunsa Planet. After getting the coordinates, Binghua planned to lead the angel troops to jump directly to the Kunsa planet. If Liangbing was there, she wouldn't have to look around for it. As the Skyblades jumped into the ultra-distance space one by one, the Skyblade warships that originally surrounded the Merlot heavenly court in a half-circle disappeared one by one, making the celestial city seem empty. Binghua, do you think Liangbing is there? During the jump, Kesha sat on the throne and asked Binghua casually. Not necessarily, it's better to say that the chance is very small. Based on Kunsa's previous narration by Liangbing, we turned the indigenous people and rescue in her words into an experiment, and it is not difficult to find out that where should be given is the birthplace of the devil. As long as we destroy somewhere, we can severely damage the morale of the demons. When the time comes for us to fight, it will be beneficial to us angels. As the surrounding space suddenly darkened, the Skyblade where Binghua and Kesha were located finally arrived at its destination, and the surrounding scenery turned into a dark universe again. In front, there is a very normal planetary system. One of the planets is earthy yellow with only a little green on it, and there is a fleet parked in its outer orbit. Holy left wing, Queen Kesha, according to the detection, the front is the Kunsa planet. There are no Kamali creatures on it, only demons. It seems to be a gathering place for demons, so just destroy it. No need to show mercy. Binghua said coldly, deciding the life and death of millions of demons on Kunsa planet in an instant. She never had a good impression of the demons who caused chaos. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 537. The cold order was given by Binghua. No matter whether the demons on the Kunsa planet were good or bad, Binghua did not intend to investigate, because the demons were the enemies of the angels, and this was a fact that could not be changed. No angels were sent for reconnaissance, and no angel team left the Skyblade fleet. The Skyblade, which was originally standing randomly in the universe, began to adjust its formation and approached Kunsa like a big net. The demon fleet parked in the outer orbit of the Kunsa planet soon discovered the approaching Skyblade fleet. It was such a big thing that anyone who was not blind could see it with the naked eye, let alone demons that were almost all super warriors. They rose up to resist and attacked the Tianren fleet group, but under the bombardment of Tianren's shipborne energy weapon Light Spear, they did not even last a minute and turned into cosmic dust. The few demons who escaped from the exploding battleship were killed one by the Skyblade, which had supercomputing power, using light spears to kill mosquitoes with cannons, and none of them were let go. As the Skyblade got closer to the Kunsa planet, the demons on the Kunsa planet finally discovered something was wrong. Huge golden warships appeared in the sky. They were like sharp swords hanging upside down in the sky, exuding holy grandeur. Breath. Then those golden battleships stopped getting bigger and looked down at everything on the surface of Kunsa like gods. Their magnificent hulls could be seen in any area of the planet. The demons were in panic because they didn't know what was going to happen. Even because of the huge mass and large number of the Skyblade itself, Kunsa's originally stable magnetic field has become unstable. If the Skyblade hangs like this, the number of natural disasters in Kunsa will increase in a short period of time, elevated to a level never seen before. Then, without any warning, red light fell from the sky, and everything it touched was turned into ashes. The terrifying high-temperature radiation seemed to have pulled Kunsara to the edge of the star to be roasted. Buildings and the earth became dry and cracked together, lakes and rivers evaporated in an instant, and the sea began to shrink rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. The steaming water mist was burned by the ultra-high temperature and turned into the most basic elements of the universe. It can be said that from this moment on, Kunsa star has lost its development value. When all this is over, Kunsa planet will turn into a desert. There will be no water resources left on the surface, all vegetation will be reduced to ashes, and the ecosystem will no longer exist. As the King of Angels, Kesha also watched the scene quietly, thinking the scene as revenge for Liangbing stabbing her in the back. After all, no matter how broad your mind is, there is an upper limit. Binghua is not as complicated as Kesha thought. From a purely military commander's point of view, she believes that destroying Kunsa will be of great benefit to the Angel's conquest, and her disgust towards the Devil's actions only accounts for a small proportion. But after the incident in Kunsa, the angelic civilization has added another external deterrent, that is, the heavenly blade presses on the realm, judgment comes, all things are destroyed, and all evil is burned. In the heavenly blade fleet, the one in the middle area is larger than the surrounding heavenly blades, and the heavenly blade with a more complicated and majestic shape is the flagship of the angel King Kesha. In the main hall on the Skyblade, Binghua and Elan stood on the left and right. Below were the Skyblade captains in two teams and the projections of the angel legions and legion commanders on each Skyblade. Among them, god-level angels such as Hizui, Ran, Ming, Ziluo, and Nishang are also on the list, as well as the angel Siren who leads the high-level angel battle group. We have reached the sphere of influence of the demon king Morgana and have already pulled out one star. According to Morgana's character, she will find us soon, so we just need to continue moving forward according to the predetermined route until we reach the center of the free world and then defeat them. As the military commander, Binghua was fulfilling his duties at the moment, summarizing the current battle situation to Kesha and planning the follow-up legion's actions. Although Kesha was also aware of the current situation, as the King of Angels she had to follow a formal procedure, and she could not fault the tactics formulated by Binghua. But angels are not ancient feudal civilizationalism. History has taught enough lessons about the consequences of arbitrary power, so the tactics also require the final deliberation and formulation of many angels to check for omissions and fill in the gaps. I believe everyone now has a rough idea of the battle situation and expected action plan summarized by the Holy Left Wing. But this is not enough. This time our angels have not hesitated to gather so many angels to attack the demons. The goal is just to defeat the demon civilization, which is not enough. As the king of angels, I cannot tolerate an evil civilization that just recently invaded the Angel Nebula and invaded the Merlot heaven to continue to exist in the known universe. Now all advanced civilizations in the entire known universe are paying attention to this battle. We angels must not lose, even if we fall into a disadvantage. Because once we act cowardly, the order of justice will surely be shaken, and those who were once honest under our reputation will become restless. At that time, we will need to invest more resources and angels to deal with those restless guys, so I have only one request, and that is to completely eliminate the demon civilization. Along with Kesha's series of words, the Sky Blade Captain and the God-level angel below looked at each other silently, both of them surprised at the meaning expressed in Kesha's words. Binghua knew in his heart Kesha's plan to personally conquer the demonic civilization this time. Seeing that no angel stood up to express his opinion in the hall, he stepped forward and spoke to Kesha. Queen Kesha, if we want to completely defeat and eliminate the demonic civilization, we should include those planets and civilizations affected by the demonic civilization as our targets in this war. As soon as Binghua finished speaking, the angel raised an objection. Holy Left Wing, if according to what you said, we need to attack all planets and civilizations affected by demons, our troops this time are far from enough. Other high-level angels also agree with this point of view. The only disadvantage of angels compared to other civilizations is that they are small in number. Civilizations such as the Liang civilization and Dino can easily raise an interstellar army worth tens of millions. But as for the angel civilization, even if it uses all the strength of the entire clan, it cannot form a legion of more than 5 million people. As for why this situation occurs, this is determined by a special feature of the angel civilization. When the super warrior technology emerged, the angel civilization did not follow the elite route of a few like other civilizations, but the path of evolution for the entire civilization. This gives the angels of the angel civilization extremely strong cosmic survivability and good brain development, and can even make short-distance planetary journeys on their own. Super Seminary Angel Binghua. Author, Shifeng Si Wang. Chapter 538. During the Huaye period, some angels could not stand Huaye's rule and directly chose to leave the Angel Nebula as a family and settle in other star fields. During the war between male and female angels, due to hundreds of years of angels attacking each other, many angels who liked stability and were capable chose to leave the Angel Nebula with an entire colony of angels to avoid the war. This caused the total population of angels to drop sharply. Later, after the establishment of Merlot heaven, the male angels could not bear the status of female angels being higher than them, and chose to leave. This is considered the biggest blow to the female angel regime. Nowadays, almost all the Merlot heavenly courts are female angels. The top angels have been looking for ways to solve the problem of the shrinking angel population. The power of Kamigawa gene in the anti-void god-making project of the Super Seminary was considered a solution, because it contains angel genes, so it can be complementary and integrated with today's female angel genes, and even strengthen the super gene data of angels. This characteristic of balance. But now this plan has been abandoned due to the termination of cooperation with the Super Seminary. As for why the angels did not establish the God-making project of the power of the divine river, it goes without saying. Now the angels have even developed the third-generation divine body technology, so what else? Focus on the third-generation God-making project. These are all old accounts of the angel civilization, and it is still during the war. It is not the time to think about these things. Binghua's thoughts returned to the battle meeting scene. Sister, what you said is correct. It will take a lot of time to accomplish this goal with the power of our angels alone. If you want to completely eliminate a civilization, you must do it in a short time. The longer it takes, the more difficult it will be. In order to strike at all civilizations and planets affected by demons, if we angels alone do it, it will take at least hundreds of years, and this premise is only after the main force of demons has been eliminated. Binghua was not angry because some angels raised objections, and said the above analysis in a very calm tone, which puzzled many angels. Only Angel Ran and Angel Minghe, who are Binghua's close confidants, understand Binghua's character very well, and Hizui, who knows that she must have a way to deal with her, is very calm. But I never said that we would rely on our angels alone to do all this. Before we set off, I had already given orders to the affiliated civilizations that had completed combat preparations. Let them rush to 5 coordinate points on the edge of the Devil's Free World to stand by. Morgana is proficient in space technology. If she wants to avoid fighting us angels, she may not be able to find her. If Morgana leaves us to attack the affiliated civilization of our angels, they will not be able to hold on for long. This is why I did not let them launch a direct attack. Reason. But as soon as we make contact with Morgana's main force and she is entangled by us, we can separate 10 Skyblade battleships to assist the affiliated civilizations and lead them to attack the free world. With the 6 directions advancing simultaneously, the so-called free world of demons will be destroyed quickly, many times faster than if we angels alone clean it up. Binghua roughly narrated his tactics, and some high-level angels were relieved. They secretly sighed that the Holy Left Wing was worthy of being the military commander of the angels, and its combat plan was much better than those of them who only thought of pushing them all the way. After that, Binghua explained some details of the battle plan. For example, what if the troops are divided and the angels are unable to fight against the main force of the demon civilization? For example, if Morgana doesn't fight them, what should she do if she goes to fight affiliated civilizations? There are many such problems. Binghua told one by one how angels should deal with the above problems. In almost every situation, Binghua made a response plan, which dispelled some of the doubts of the high-level angels present. In fact, the reason why Binghua used the 6-pronged advance and division of troops, a taboo tactic among military strategists, was entirely because she was able to estimate Liang Bing's current military strength. Not to mention the fleet of 20 Skyblades, Liang Bing would probably be at a disadvantage with just 10 Skyblades, not to mention the fact that Binghua and Keisha were still there. If Liang Bing didn't want the free world she built to be directly penetrated by her and Kesha, she would never divide her troops to stop the attacks of other 5 affiliated civilizations. But at the same time, because there are 5 other forces attacking the free world at the same time, Liang Bing cannot always avoid fighting or delay the fight. Because the longer it takes, the greater Liang Bing's losses will be, and the devil's power will become weaker and weaker. Binghua is relying on the strong military strength of the angel civilization to bully Liang Bing, who is now weak. This is a complete conspiracy. No matter what Liang Bing chooses, he cannot escape the fate of defeat. At this moment, Liang Bing is still excitedly gathering his demon army, trying to start a huge war with his sister Kesha and Binghua, to prove to his sister that the angelic civilization she has developed over thousands of years, it will take hundreds of years to compete. But soon Liang Bing received her own blow. The angel's Skyblade fleet suddenly appeared in Kunsa, and then Kunsa turned into a scorched earth. The news that no demon survived reached her ears. Liang Bing immediately yelled at Kesha and Binghua for being bastards for attacking Kunsa, her most important demon gene research planet. The demons in the demon army came from Kunsa and were transformed by a group of demons. They were full of hatred for the angels and wanted to rush to the angel army to fight them to the death, because their home was destroyed by the angels not long ago. I will never spare those 2 bastards Binghua and Kesha. Yunlan and Letai, inform all the demons immediately. We will set off immediately and target Kunsa. Upon hearing Liang Bing's order, Yunlan and a tall and strong demon saluted at the same time, and then immediately went to inform him. Liang Bing kept pacing in front of her throne. She was a little uneasy. Even though she showed great momentum just now, facing the combination of Binghua and Kesha, even if she already had a plan to deal with it, a bit empty. The Skyblade fleet marched with great momentum towards the Demon King city reported in the intelligence. All the planets that were affected by demons or had demons along the way were cleaned up by angels. Under the encouragement of Queen Liangbing, the demon civilization formed a huge fleet to face the angel civilization. The two legions, which are considered powerful in the known universe today, are getting closer and closer as time goes by. As the demonic and angelic civilizations are about to collide, other advanced civilizations are paying more and more attention to see if the so-called demonic civilization can shake the powerful position of the angels as defenders of justice in the known universe. At this critical moment, in the galaxy on the edge of the known universe, Huaya looked at the latest information on the Angel Nebula uploaded by his angels, and laughed excitedly. Haha, I really didn't expect that bitch Kesha to encounter the same situation as me so soon. Liangbing rebelled and established a demonic civilization. Angels gathered millions of legions to attack them. Now a fight is about to begin. Finally, my opportunity has come. Go and call Kunpeng for me. I want to gather an army to conquer Angel Nebula myself.